All right, so this is Unit 2, Lesson 2. This is going to be page 6 in your packet, your notes packet. We're still talking about factoring trinomials. And again, trinomials means we're going to have 3 terms. Like down here, I have 1 term here, 1 term here, and 1 term here. And so we're going to be factoring these, but these trinomials have a leading coefficient that is not equal to 1. So this first coefficient right here is not 1, okay, for all of these problems. It makes it a little bit trickier. I'm going to show you 2 methods that will help you to factor these trinomials. So just to refresh our memory, the general form of a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. Of course, this could be plus or a minus here. But you're going to have numbers in there for a, b, and c. And they are the coefficients. So if I look at my first problem down here, my first step is always going to be to come down and just identify A, B, and C. For this problem, my A is going to be a positive 2, my B is going to be a negative 5, and my C is going to be a positive 3. Okay? So looking back up, this section in here is going to have our directions for factoring this expression, trinomial. So the first thing I want to do is find the product of A and C. That means A multiplied by C. So A times C is equal to 2 times 3. That's going to be equal to 6. All right? And now I'm looking for obtain 2 factors of that product. In this case, it was 6 that add up to give you B. So I'm looking for 2 factors of 6. Let me just make a little chart right here. I'm looking for 2 factors of 6 that add to give me B, which is negative 5. So they need to add to give me 5. So 2 numbers that I can multiply to get 6, but add to give me a negative 5. So what are my factors of 6? I have 1 times 6. I have 2 times 3. Okay, but since this is a positive 6, I can also do a negative 1 and a negative 6 and a negative 2 and a negative 3. So out of these 4 sets of factors, which one adds to give me a negative 5, which is my B term? It's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. It is this one. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is equal to negative 5. And again, that's my B term right here. Okay? So I have now identified really what I want to do with next. Sorry, that's a little confusing right there. So now that I have negative 2 and negative 3 as my factors, I'm going to put those off to the side here real quick, and I'm going to erase this part so I have some more space in here. So we've obtained the product of A and C. We have found the 2 factors that of A times C that add up to B, and now we're going to rewrite the trinomial as a 4-term polynomial by splitting the middle term. So what that means is, since I have my 2 factors that I figured out over here, I'm going to rewrite this center term as I'm going to split that into those 2 terms right there. So here's what that's going to look like. I come down, nothing is changing to my 2x squared, that stays the same. But now my negative 5x becomes a minus 2x minus 3x. And where did I get those from? I got those from over here, the factors that I just determined in the last step. And then I still have my plus 3 on the end. So plus 3. So now I have a 4-term trinomial, and I'm going to use that same grouping method, factoring method that we covered a couple lessons ago. And the way to do that is to divide this up into 2 pairs. Here's pair 1, and here's pair 2. for each pair, I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor of the first pair is going to be a 2x. The greatest common factor of the second pair is going to be a -3. Okay. And so now I can rewrite this first pair as 2 times, tell you what, just do that. It's actually 2x times x minus 2. Oops, x minus 1. And my second pair is going to be rewritten after I take out a -3. I'm going to have -3 times x minus 1. And I know this is going to be good because I have the same factor here as here. They're both x minus 1s. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. So my last step now is going to be, I'm actually going to come over to the side here and write it. So make a little arrow right here. I'm going to take out in the front, I'm going to take out my 2x minus 3. That's going to be one of my factors. And the other factor is going to be this x minus 1. But I only write it once. So 2x minus 3 times x minus 1. And this right here is my final answer. This is the factored form of this trinomial.